U.S. President Donald Trump has said he recognizes Venezuelan opposition leader Juan Guaidó as interim president. The announcement came minutes after the 35-year-old declared himself acting leader in Caracas on Wednesday. A number of South American countries, including Brazil, Colombia and Peru, have also recognized Mr. Guaidó as Venezuela's legitimate president. It comes amid mass protests against President Nicolas Maduro, who has overseen years of economic freefall. Hyperinflation, power cuts and shortages of basic items have driven millions of people out of Venezuela. Mr. Maduro was sworn in for a second term earlier this month, after a vote marred by an opposition boycott and widespread claims of vote rigging. In response to Mr. Trump's recognition of the opposition leader, Mr. Maduro broke diplomatic ties with the US and gave its diplomatic staff 72 hours to leave Venezuela. He accused Washington of trying to govern Venezuela from afar and said the opposition was seeking to stage a coup. "We've had enough interventionism, here we have dignity, damn it," he said in a televised address from the presidential palace. Some counter-demonstrations are also being held in support of Mr. Maduro, but these are reported to be on a much smaller scale. Earlier on Wednesday, Mr. Guaidó told a cheering crowd in Caracas that the protests would continue until Venezuela is liberated. "I swear to formally assume the national executive powers as acting president," he said, while raising his right hand. Mr. Guaidó, who is head of the National Assembly, called on the armed forces, who have so far backed Mr. Maduro, to disobey the government. But Venezuela's defense minister has condemned Mr. Guaidó, who has promised to lead a transitional government and hold free elections. Mr. Maduro has worked hard to keep the military leadership on his side, giving officers key government posts and offering lucrative oilfield services contracts to military-linked firms. Some 13 people had been killed during Wednesday's protests. The rights group the Venezuelan Observatory of